everyone, and welcome back to Dear Dharmadude. My name is Vivian, and I'm here with Master Hem Ching, and we're here to discuss today whether Buddhism is, or what is a religion, and does Buddhism constitute as a religion, or is it a belief, or what's the difference, if there is a difference? So.
I think everyone in the world knows that Buddhism is a religion.
Right.
So when Buddhism comes to the West now, the religions of the East have been practiced completely different in the West, meaning many monks, many nuns coming from China, from Taiwan, and from Thailand, Burma, Tibet, for example. There's many sects from Zen Buddhism to Tibetan Vajrayana to Chan. Many sects, many kind of Buddhism have been sort of mushroomed everywhere in the landscape that we are living now. And so many forms become more and more different than the original form. And so in the East, in Asia, where Buddhism came from, when you say about religion, meaning there is a belief that you believe in, you subscribe to, there is a kind of ceremony, there's a kind of lifestyle that you do, and sometimes you go through a ceremony to officialize your position as a religious person, as a Buddhist person. In America now, many people read a lot of books about Buddhism. So we are very knowledgeable in the West here. We are very knowledgeable about history of Buddhism, about all forms of Buddhism. So when you say that is Buddhism a religion? Yes, it is a form of religion. But the more pertinent question is, what kind of Buddhism is practiced in the West, especially in America? Now we also know that Buddhism in Europe has a different form and flavor compared to Buddhism which is practiced here in America. And sometimes, even between the two groups of Buddhists, sometimes they also practice differently.
Which two groups are you referring to?
You can name two groups, for example.
Right.
Any two groups, for example. Even in the Japanese tradition, Zen tradition, one Zen group practices this way, Soto Zen, but the Rinzai will practice differently. And so we have many forms. So Buddhism really address the potential of each of us and how to unfold that potential. But then the culture where it was contained arise from, the culture is like the container. The container gives shape and form to that Buddhism. And so Buddhism have a lot of flexibility, you may say, flexibility and liberty, and as well as the freedom for a person to grow. Now, and then, in the true form of Buddhism, we take what is the best to make ourselves grow. But not really subscribe to a set of rules and regulations, not that much. But all the rules and regulations in Buddhism, sometimes it becomes so simple. Simple to the point that it addresses the problem that we may create it, but it won't be like a fence or a barricade for our freedom. No. It just tells us not to do something unnecessarily, and only do things that give us a path of freedom, or do things that can engender the sense of being. And so Buddhism itself, if you truly define Buddhism, it's an art rather than the religion, the art of being. But then the culture around that art of being, that art, sometimes that culture dictates certain form, certain social form that we call religion. And so many people who practice Buddhism say that they are very spiritual. They are not religious, meaning they practically develop their own self, but not necessarily subscribe to a set of rules and regulations and certain type of doctrines. No. And so that's two different things about spirituality and religion. And so it's very hard if we want to say that Buddhism is not a religion. No, it's a religion, but as we grow and grow, and the Buddhism now come to the West, different form of Buddhism now appear. And as more and more appear, it take different forms. And one of the forms is not religion, while the other form is still religions. So you can see that, like I said at the beginning, Buddhism is just the art of beings, how we open up and unfold our potential. And our potential is manifold, many layers in our potentiality. And each level of unfolding, we need a certain form of spiritual practice. Maybe at the very early form, we need certain kind of regulation, certain kind of rules. We need a tradition to hold us together, so we don't transgress any rules that will be harmful to our conduct, of our livelihood. But if we grow more and more, we become more and more mature, we become more and more aware of ourselves, we start to see things a little bit different and comprehensive. The more we see that there's some regulations I don't need anymore, there's some regulations I need. So the choosing will slowly get us to the degree that we will say certain kind of doctrines that it doesn't fit to my soul anymore. But I look at my soul better. And then as we grow more and more, we start to see that, oh, I can see that now I need to incorporate psychology, for example, to understand what is the shadows and how we deal with the shadows. At certain